The morning sun pierced through the cracked blinds of a one-bedroom apartment in the Bronx, landing softly on a sleeping face. David Miller, 38, former mechanic, now a janitor, and more importantly, a single father. His 6-year-old son, Caleb, lay curled on a worn-out couch nearby, wrapped in a blanket too thin for New York winters. Today was important. Today, David had a job interview, his first real shot in 2 years at getting back into the auto industry. He had laid out his only dress shirt the night before, freshly ironed, with trembling hands and a hopeful heart. The job was across town at a prestigious dealership. A manager's position. Enough money to move them out of their crumbling apartment. Enough to buy Caleb the red bicycle he'd been circling in catalogs for months. David dropped Caleb off at school, hugged him a second longer than usual, then headed toward the subway. As he crossed 145th Street, he saw her, maybe 7 or 8 years old, sitting on the curb in a fancy white dress now stained with city grime. Her shoulders shook with silent sobs, her hair tangled like she'd run through a storm. He glanced at his watch. 9:05 a.m. The interview was at 9:30. He took one step, then stopped. Something about the girl's trembling form pulled him back. He crouched down. "Hey, you okay, sweetheart? Are you lost?" The girl didn't speak, just looked at him with red, tear-filled eyes, her tiny hands clutching a torn ribbon. David sighed, pulled out his phone, and called the dealership. Straight to voicemail. "I'm gonna be late," he muttered. He sat beside her. "My name's David. What's yours?" Still no answer. Eventually, through quiet sobs, she whispered, "Emma." "Hi, Emma. Where's your mom or dad?" Her lip quivered. "I ran away." "Okay, are you hurt? Hungry?" She nodded. David stood. "All right. Let's get you something warm to eat, yeah? Just around the corner." She hesitated, then slowly reached up and took his hand. At the diner, over pancakes and hot cocoa, Emma opened up. Her mom had passed last year. Her dad was always busy, always yelling. She lived in a big house but felt alone all the time. David listened. Really listened. "You know," he said softly, "being rich doesn't always mean you're not hurting. And sometimes the people who have less give the most." Emma looked at him like she wasn't sure what he meant, but she trusted him. Then, mid-bite, she froze. "I have to go home," she said. "Daddy will be mad." "All right. Where do you live?" "Park Avenue." David blinked. "That's a long way from here. I can show you." He paid the bill with the last of his cash. No train fare left. They walked. By noon, they reached a mansion with gates taller than any tree David had ever seen. Emma pressed a code and the iron doors creaked open. Before David could make sense of it, security guards came running. "There she is. Miss Emma." They eyed David with suspicion until Emma clung to his side and shouted, "He helped me. Don't be mean to him." A moment later, a tall man in a suit burst through the doors, gray hair, furious eyes. "Emma! Where the hell have you?" He stopped cold when he saw David. Emma ran to him, but she didn't hug him. She stood firm. "He listened to me. You never do." The man's eyes softened. "You scared me, baby." Then Emma said something that changed everything, "Can we help him now? He gave up his job for me." David tried to protest. "I didn't do it for anything. She looked like she needed someone." Emma's father turned to him. "What job?" David explained, sheepish. The man's expression changed from suspicion to thoughtfulness. "Come inside. Please." Inside the mansion, after some tea and a long talk, Emma's father introduced himself as Richard Thornton, the CEO of Thornton Auto Group. "You were applying for a position at our Bronx dealership," he said. I recognize your name from the shortlist. David's heart skipped. Richard continued, you missed the interview. But you showed me something more important than a resume today. He stood, extended his hand. How would you like to run our service department, not just in the Bronx, but all 5 boroughs? David's jaw dropped. Sir, I don't know what to say. Say yes. Emma already did. 3 months later, David and Caleb moved into a better apartment. Caleb got his red bike. David wore a new suit to work, every day walking into Thornton headquarters with pride. Emma often visited, always bringing cookies for Caleb and laughing with the only adult who had once just sat beside her and asked, "Are you okay?" Sometimes, the path to our dreams is interrupted by someone else's tears. But the greatest opportunities don't always come in boardrooms or behind polished desks, they come in the quiet moments when we choose kindness over convenience. David missed his interview. But he found something greater, purpose, family, and a chance to change a life, both hers and his. When you stop to help someone else, you might just find your own way forward.